Hey everybody, Jake Thurman on behalf of V1 Sports. Jake Knapp just shot a 59 on a place that I have worked with a PGA Tour player, multiple winner on the PGA Tour, and told me pars at PGA National are good. Well, not today, and Jake Knapp has joined the 59 club. Let's take a look at his swing. This is very recent from this year, and probably success leaves a little bit of clues here as he has some training aids. I cannot tell you how often I am encouraging my clients, not just PGA Tour clients, but regular, professional people who don't have a lot of time to use external cues to train their motions, okay? To control the environment, to change the motion of their swing. Jake Knapp, elite level players understand what they're feeling is not always what's happening, so they put these devices in place. I count 3. One, you got something called a foot wedge, which you can get on Amazon. I'm sure it'll be here tomorrow. He's got an alignment rod. You'll see it as he rotates the top in the belt loops. Usually this is for pelvic rotation and pelvic tilts, increasing rotation for a lot of the people out there, but keeping the tilts, especially through transition for tour players. And then he has something under his trail arm for connection when you're talking about right arm connection and reducing the amount of slack in his backswing. Slack would be the independent lifting and narrowing motion of the arms off the torso. Let's take him away here. You can see he's also working on a quieter, more of a one-piece feeling takeaway, where that's not a lot of going on with the hands. That's more kind of turning the torso and the shoulders. So again, he kind of paused it right there. He paused it right there in his takeaway to get the club to start the same way every time. Now, I'll tell you what, you will not change your swing if you keep your trigger, okay? So work on the first part of your swing if you're an amateur golfer watching this video and get it to start the same way, just like Jake Knapp is. So again, from there, he's going to make a swing. We see that classic. Again, you've seen my other videos. Hands in, club out. Club kind of matching the back line right there. The hands right over the toe line right there. Just beautiful position. Now you can start seeing that alignment stick through his belt loops right there. This will show you the amount of rotation he has in his lower body. And again, what is he trying to do with that foot wedge off his right heel? Well, let me tell you this. When you put PGA Tour players on, for example, the V1 pressure mat, you will see pressure in the trail heel at the top of the swing as a result of deepening and rotating the pelvis. So deepening would mean that his glute right there stays on that red line, or even gets a little bit deeper, and a full rotation of the pelvis. So we've got pressure in the trail heel. Now, the funniest thing is most amateurs would benefit getting pressure in that trail heel almost immediately in their swing because they lack trail side rotation and depth. But a PGA Tour player almost needs to feel like he kind of loads into the middle of his foot and just barely into the heel because typically they don't suffer for rotation or depth. Again, that depth comes from the rotation. So that getting the hands kind of over the heels right there comes from the rotation. Let's talk about that right arm connection. So that right arm connection, as I told you before, is about arm slack. Arm slack is an independent lifting motion of the arms off the torso. Now, all players in golf lift their arms off their torso some amount. Your average tour player is about 30 inches, okay? The thing is, though, when the turn, the torso rotation, the back to the target, when that completes, but then the arms keep going and the right arm gets too narrow, we get a lot of angles in there, and typically that can be some inconsistencies with our delivery. So it's pretty evident to me that the foot wedge here is actually to keep his right heel down longer. You're about to see that. And the alignment stick right here is really about maintaining his tilts. We don't want to see that alignment rod level out too soon right after transition. And then again, trail arm connection right there is really about arm slack. So here we go. Every player I've ever measured in 3D steepens the tilts in transition, only a few degrees, barely detectable, but whatever that angle is, and it's all across the board, they will steepen that just barely in terms of their shoulder line or shoulder tilts and their pelvic tilt. So you can see that lead side, the lead shoulder, the lead hip, still pointing down, trail foot still down. And because there's not a lot of slack in the arms, whatever he does with his torso, those hands will naturally move down a little bit, but also kind of move out as the torso rotates. You can see that he's actually deepened his posture here. And again, deepening your posture there is going to mean that right foot, that trail foot, it's called trail foot eversion, basically, that right heel is going to stay down longer or getting into what we call a banking position. If he would go out to the toe, like so many amateurs do, where they go out to the toe and the knee kicks out towards the golf ball, that loses the depth of his hips, and then you're basically done rotating. It's beautiful delivery here of the club. Really good with the lower body. The other benefit of having the stick in the alignment stick in the belt loops is getting the trail elbow not to trail in the golf swing. Get it in front of that right hip, okay? Never trapped behind. A lot of these great players who can dissociate their lower half from their upper half so well can get that lower half so far out in front that they get kind of trapped with their upper body and their arms, that right arm. Again, I always say, don't let your trail arm trail in your golf swing, have it lead. So that's kind of what I mean there, is that those arms kind of get in front of the hips, which gives him enough room to release. You can see he's still very much in his tilts. We'll go right back here. See that alignment rod? Still very much in its tilts, still very much in its tilts. And if he is in his dynamic posture, he is able to rotate more effectively. So many amateurs think popping up to the toe early helps with rotation, and actually operates as an early break and an early extension move. Take it all the way to a classic finish right there. Beautiful rotation. And again, no undue face closure. Very, very quiet there with the release in terms of the rotation of the face. Again, beautiful balance. And as I always say, left heel, right toe, knees kiss. And because I got that from Nick Faldo. This is what shoots 59. And what also you need to take away from this is a guy who's capable of playing elite level golf on the PGA Tour, is using external cues, training aids. No swing out there is perfect, including theirs. They need things to control the environment, to control what it is they're feeling. So what they're feeling is what's actually happening, because feel and real for them is different as well. Jake Thurm, talking about Jake Knapp. Dana Dahlquist works with him. Great job. 59 PGA National. I can't believe it. We'll see you on the next winner.